Put your headphones on, not because this is a myth, because this is a mirror. You know that moment when you realize someone's leaving and your brain does this stupid little thing where it tries to negotiate reality? Like, no, they're just busy. They're just stressed. They'll come back when it makes sense. And the worst one, the most poisonous one, the one that sounds mature but hits like a knife. Right person, wrong time. Today we're not talking about some random couple. We're talking about a queen who built a city with her bare hands and a man who carried destiny on his back like a backpack he never asked for. Dido and Aeneas. And the theme is timing, because timing is not just when. Timing is power. Timing is the difference between love and loss, between we and what happened to us. Now picture this. Dido is standing in the palace and the air feels wrong. You can feel it in your skin. The servants are moving differently. The halls are quieter. He's not where he should be. She asks one simple question, and everything inside her already knows the answer. Where is he going? And that's the moment. That's the moment your chest tightens. That's the moment your stomach drops. That's the moment you realize you weren't in the same relationship. You were in the same room, but not the same reality. He's leaving, not because there wasn't love, because there was a plan. And here's what makes this myth hurt in a modern way. Nobody is cartoon villain evil. Nobody twirls a mustache and laughs. It's worse than that. It's human. So let me back up. Dido isn't just a woman who fell too hard. Dido is a founder. She's the kind of person who survives a violent past and decides, I'm not going to be a victim story. I'm going to be a building story. She escapes, she leads, she creates Carthage. A whole city, order out of chaos, safety out of loss. That's her superpower. And then Aeneas shows up. Aeneas is the guy who survived the fall of Troy. He's carrying refugees, grief, responsibility, and that heavy spiritual pressure of, you're meant for something bigger. The gods have basically assigned him a mission. Keep moving, go to Italy, start a legacy. In other words, he doesn't get to just live. He has to fulfill. And if you've ever loved someone who was meant for something, you already know what this is going to turn into. Because when you date someone who's married to a mission, you're always the side quest. Even if they swear you're the main story. A storm drives him into Dido's world. She takes him in. She feeds him, shelters him, listens. And something starts happening that neither of them expected. It's not just attraction, it's recognition. Because Dido, for the first time in a long time, doesn't feel like she has to be the strong one alone. And Aeneas, for the first time since Troy burned, feels warm. Not safe, warm, human. They spend time together, and the myth does what myths always do. It exaggerates what real life does quietly. The gods interfere. The weather flips at the perfect moment. They end up in a cave, and depending on the version, it's either a symbolic marriage or a messy misunderstanding that gets treated like marriage. And this is where timing becomes the villain. Because Dido experiences this as a beginning, Aeneas experiences it as a pause. That's the whole tragedy. One person thinks, we're building. The other person thinks, I'm resting before I continue. And in modern terms, that's the relationship where one person is picking out paint colors and the other is like, let's just see where this goes. Now here's the part people always skip when they reduce Dido to jealous. Dido isn't mad because she's insecure. She's mad because she's intelligent. She senses the instability. She senses the exit. She senses that even in the happiest moments, there's a countdown running in the background, like a timer you can't see but you can hear. And listen, if you've ever been in a situation where someone's affection is real, but their commitment is foggy, you know how exhausting that is. Because you're not just loving them, you're translating them. You're decoding, you're analyzing, you're watching tone shifts, you're tracking response times, you're reading pauses like they're subtitles. You're not in love, you're in surveillance. And then the gods, the universe, life, whatever you want to call it, sends the message to Aeneas. Get up, leave, your destiny is waiting. And this is where the modern version of Aeneas shows up. The one you've met 100 times. The person who says, this isn't what I want, it's just what I have to do. And that line can be true, but it still destroys people. Aeneas doesn't sit Dido down properly. He doesn't give her the dignity of truth in real time. In most tellings, he prepares to leave quietly. And that detail matters, because leaving is painful. Leaving quietly is disrespect. Leaving quietly says, I don't trust you with my real self. It says, I don't want the consequences of what I started. And when Dido finds out, she loses it. Not because she's dramatic, because her nervous system understands something her mind is still trying to deny. She opened her city and her body and her future. and he's about to turn her into a chapter he doesn't reread. And now the confrontation. This is where the myth stops being ancient and starts being tonight. Dido says in 1,000 different emotional languages, "Was I just a place you stopped?" And Aeneas says the sentence that ends relationships everywhere. "I have to go." Not "I want to go," not "I'm choosing to go." I have to. Because "I have to" is a magic spell. It removes responsibility. It makes betrayal sound like duty. And Dido's pain isn't just romantic pain. It's identity pain. Because she didn't just fall for a man. She risked a worldview. She risked believing that she could build again with someone. She risked trusting timing. So here's the real psychological core of this myth, and why it goes viral when you tell it right. Dido represents the part of us that finally says, "I'm ready. Ready for love. Ready for stability. Ready for a new chapter. Ready to stop carrying everything alone." Aeneas represents the part of life that says, "Not yet." And the conflict between "I'm ready" and "not yet" is one of the most brutal emotional experiences a human being can have. Because if the person is clearly wrong, you can leave. But if the person is right and the timing is wrong, you can get stuck for years. You keep waiting for the universe to catch up to your feelings. You keep holding the door open for someone who's already walking away. And this is where Dido becomes a warning, not a tragedy. Because when Aeneas leaves, Dido doesn't just lose him, she loses her inner foundation. The myth ends in self-destruction, and I'm not going to romanticize that. It's not beautiful heartbreak, it's a collapse. And that's the dark lesson. Timing doesn't just end relationships. Sometimes it breaks people. So what do we do with this? Because Myth Mirror isn't here to just stab you in the chest and call it philosophy. We're here to name the pattern so you can stop repeating it. Here's the question you need to ask, and it's uncomfortable on purpose. Are you calling it timing because it sounds better than the truth? Because sometimes wrong time is real. Life is chaotic. People have obligations. Healing takes time. But sometimes wrong time is just a soft way of saying, "I'm not choosing you." And the difference matters. Aeneas had a mission, yes, but the way he handled it still mattered. The way he communicated still mattered. The way he respected what they built still mattered. So if you're the Dido in a story right now, here's your grounding point. You don't need someone to love you. You need someone to choose you. Love without choice is just emotion. Choice is commitment, and commitment is what makes timing survivable. Now let's talk about the sunk cost trap, because Dido is basically the patron saint of it. When you've invested so much, you start thinking, leaving means losing everything you put in. So you cling, you bargain, you replay the good moments like evidence in a courtroom. But the truth is, effort doesn't guarantee return, time doesn't guarantee loyalty, and your capacity to love doesn't obligate someone to stay. If anything, Dido shows what happens when a powerful person ties their worth to someone else's consistency. So here's the constructive pivot, because this is where you get your power back. If someone is the right person, they will not treat clarity like a luxury item. They will not keep you in uncertainty while benefiting from your presence. They will not let you build a future alone while they keep an exit ready. And if they truly cannot stay, they will not disappear. They will not leave quietly. They will not make you discover the truth like it's a betrayal scavenger hunt. They will speak. They will face you. They will respect you. And if they don't, that's not destiny. That's character. So if you're listening and you're thinking, okay, but what if I'm Aeneas? What if you're the one with the mission? The one who's not ready? The one who feels torn? Then hear this too. Having a purpose doesn't excuse hurting people. You can be driven and still be honest. You can be ambitious and still be kind. You can leave and still give someone dignity. Because the most painful thing is not separation. It's being treated like you were never real. And now the final mirror. The line I want to leave you with, because it's the one that changes how you date, how you attach, how you let go. Sometimes the lesson isn't wait for the right time. Sometimes the lesson is stop handing your future to someone who won't hold it carefully. Dido built a city. That means she can rebuild herself, but only if she stops confusing loss with meaning. And you can too. If you're in a right person, wrong time story, don't just ask, will they come back? Ask the harder question, did they ever truly choose me while they were here? Because timing is real, but so is avoidance. And your life is too valuable to be someone's pause button. Take a breath. Put your hand on your chest if you need to. You're not too much. You're not hard to love. You're not crazy for wanting clarity. You're just awake. And once you're awake, you stop begging for what should be freely given. That's the myth. That's the mirror. And that's how you turn an ancient tragedy into a modern boundary.